Oh, what's good, everyone? Welcome inside Bucks Film Room. I'm Brian Sampson. You can find me on Twitter at Bucks Film Room. We have a joyous episode coming at you today, much like Giannis dancing and skipping around at the end of the game on Sunday, with Milwaukee beating the Clippers 105-100. Head coach Mike Budenholzer made a huge change down the stretch. So let's dive in and see exactly how Milwaukee was able to shut down the Clippers over the last 4 minutes or so of the game. At the 3:43 mark in the fourth quarter, head coach Mike Budenholzer inserted Pat Connaughton into the lineup for Brook Lopez, making his team go small down the stretch. With Milwaukee trailing 100-96, it's safe to say this move paid huge dividends as the Clippers failed to score the rest of the game. On the very first possession, with the Bucks going small, Giannis matches up with Kawhi Leonard after Leonard had torched the Bucks in the previous stretch. The Clippers immediately go into a two-man game with Leonard and Paul George. However, the Bucks switch this matchup very easily, with Giannis ending up in an isolation situation on Paul George. George ends up taking a very weak step-back jumper that Giannis contests easily, and it's a huge defensive victory for the Bucks as they try to cut into the Clippers' lead. About 45 seconds later, the Bucks are finally able to cut into the Clippers' lead as the Bucks find Giannis with a mismatch on Pat Beverly down low. Chris Middleton throws a nice pass over the top of the defense as Giannis finishes in traffic and for the and one. He'll actually go to the free throw line and make his free throws. He was clutch with those down the stretch. And you can see here, we see you with your little soccer head bob. Boop! On the very next Clippers possession, there was a foul on the floor which gave them a side out of bounds play. You can see Giannis on the wing here with Kawhi, and the Clippers go into a screening action once again. This time Middleton switches onto Kawhi in the left elbow. However, Giannis does a great job of balancing the help defense between guarding Paul George on the perimeter. And he has perfect timing on this fadeaway that Kawhi is elite at. I mean, this is right in Kawhi's wheelhouse. However, Giannis comes over, tips the shot, knocks it out of his hands, and is able to force the shot clock violation. After two more made free throws by the suddenly studly Giannis Antetokounmpo from the free throw line, the Bucks defense goes into an absolute frenzy, running all over the place to thwart this Clippers offensive possession. Let's rewind that and take a closer look. After the Leonard-Paul George pick and rolls were not working, the Clippers moved away from it and instead tried to use Lou Williams in a screening action. With DiVincenzo matched up on Williams, they tried a ball screen at the top of the key. That didn't work. It was great communication by the Bucks, so they went back to it. This time DiVincenzo ends up switching onto Paul George, and he does a very nice job. He forces George on the crossover to drive left. However, Jrue Holiday steps up amazingly, keeps his verticality, and forces an extremely tough shot at the rim. Another huge victory for the Bucks. The Bucks' stellar defensive effort continues as Giannis forces Kawhi Leonard into a miss from the top of the key. On the next possession, the Clippers go back to targeting DiVincenzo in the pick and roll, with Marcus Morris this time setting a ball screen near the top of the key. However, Middleton fights through the screen and forces George into an even tougher pull-up three. The Bucks were able to add to their 1-point lead on their very next possession, thanks to amazing ball movement that had just about everybody on the court touching the basketball and ended with a Giannis slam and then him skipping around the floor like a joyous little boy. However, Milwaukee still had work to do. Up 3 with 10 seconds left, they needed to get one last stop. Giannis starts his possession on Kawhi Leonard down on the right block. However, after Serge Ibaka sets a screen, Connaughton switches onto Leonard, who then receives a pass from Paul George on the right wing. Thinking that the Bucks might foul, Leonard hoists an early and deep three-point shot to maybe catch Milwaukee off guard. However, Connaughton is in good enough position to contest it and force it to come up short. Bucks win, baby. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning into this episode of Bucks Film Room. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at Bucks Film Room if you so desire. I would really appreciate all that. Catch you next time.